Hey, it's Sheriff Factor Red Neo. Welcome to day 42 of your 7-week mind body reset. This is your 6th week, and we're wrapping this week up pretty soon here. So the insight of this week is the law of averages. And the law of averages says that if you want to upgrade your life, you got to upgrade your social and personal network, because money and opportunity move through people. And that means getting out there, meeting more people, and bringing them into your fold, whether they are business partners, clients, people you're going to date, friends. And the law of averages helps you to do this. It gives you a guideline because it is based on the idea that you're going to get more rejection and more failure than you do acceptance and success. The difference between successful people and people who fail is successful people understand the law of averages, that only 10 people are going to proceed to the next step of interaction, right? You talk to 100 people, 10 of those people are going to become contacts. Out of those 10 contacts, one of those people is going to meet with you, right? And then you have 10 of those types of meetings, and 1 out of 10 is going to become someone who's long-term in your life in some way. All right, that's the law of averages. It's pretty damn accurate. And it helps you persist in the face of failure and rejection because you understand that it's just a numbers game then. So the next thing for today is I want you to go through your list of tasks. By now you've got those sorted into 4 quadrants, 4 categories. And you're going to reach a point now where if you haven't been following instructions and writing these things down, as I've been advising you to do the past few days, you're about to get really lost. So you want to go back. If you've been, thinking you're the exception and trying to skip steps and things like that, you're going to need to go back in a second here, because what we're going to do is take your 4 quadrants, which are going to be, you're going to have those in this order of priority. First priority is things that are not urgent, but that are value driven, connected to your long-term purpose. Second priority is things that are non-urgent and necessary. Third priority is things that are urgent and value driven. That's going to be a very small box. You may not even have anything in that. And then the fourth one is things that are urgent and necessary. Now what I want you to do, you're going to find out, this is what happens to a lot of people. They start doing this time blocking, and they block things out according to these 4 priorities, right? 4 boxes of priorities. And then they find out this, they get a week into it, 2 weeks into it, and life takes over, and they say, this stuff doesn't work. It's not practical. No, it's not that. It's the fact that you weren't diligent enough with it. Because what we want to do next is going to take about 90 days, and it's going to be called task pruning. I want you to write down all the things that are getting in the way of you following your time blocks and prioritizing things according to the order I just gave you. Write down all those things, and I bet you they are urgent things that are not necessary. Now, they may be urgent, necessary things that you forgot to list in the beginning, and that's fine. They may be things that are necessary or value-driven, but are only urgent because you have not prioritized in the past. You procrastinated, and they've kind of built up on you. You got to deal with those, right? You got to deal with them. You got to kind of wade through that muck. And don't blame the system saying it's not working, because you're still living in the effects of the causes you set in motion. You got to finish out that cycle, deal with that, what you have built up because you procrastinated, and just get through that mess and then start prioritizing things. But the other possibility is that there are things that you're treating as important simply because they're urgent. They're not necessary, they're not important, they're not value-driven, they're not aligned with your purpose, but they're urgent for somebody. And then you got to ask yourself, how important is this person or this relationship to me that I'm allowing them to hijack my entire time management and energy management process? They may be important enough to where you need to move those things into a different category. And be honest with yourself. But there's a very good chance that you're treating things as important simply because they're urgent. And I want you to begin to prune those out of your schedule. Say no to that person. Ignore the text, whatever you've got to do. Stop responding to things simply because they're urgent and thinking because they're urgent, they're important. And that's going to take you about the next 90 days. And then we'll wrap up this week with tomorrow's video.